Welcome back to another edition of the Night Report podcast. I'm your host, Mike Broadbent. Joining me once again are my co-hosts, Richie and Alec Crowdhamel. Rutgers has landed another commitment in the class of 2026, this time from a cornerback out of Florida, the 6'2", 170-pound corner Jaris Conyers from Sumner High School in Riverview, Florida. This is a kid who took a visit in the late spring, ended up committing to the Scarlet Knights this afternoon. He was supposed to originally commit yesterday on Sunday, but he pushed that back a day. Rich, talk about what Rutgers is getting in Conyers and how he ended up as a Scarlet Knight.
Yeah, if you told me Florida cornerback Rutgers commit, I probably wasn't. And you told me this a couple days ago. We probably weren't talking about JJ Conyers. We were talking about someone else. But lo and behold, they still landed their Florida DB. Tall, lengthy, typical Shiano cornerback, 6'2", former basketball player, has pretty natural playmaking skills. Just a real, he can really track the ball when it's in the air, basically. I'm trying to think. 8 pass breakups, multiple interceptions. One was a game-sealing victory. 38 tackles on the year. Really talented player. He had 20 plus offers. Was down to a Final Four of Rutgers, NC State, Wake Forest, North Carolina. We always kind of felt like Rutgers was up there in the race for him. He also, I believe, took a April official visit to Oregon State, which was kind of weird for a Florida kid to go all the way out there. But Rutgers did a really good job on their official visit. I actually thought this was going to be sealed up following that May 30th official visit, because that's basically when they landed the majority of their commitments this cycle. And it just ended up taking a little bit longer. He wanted to take more visits. He wanted to check out NC State, Iowa State, and Wake Forest over those next couple weeks. I take it back. I don't think he made it to Iowa State. I think it was NC State that week. Either way. Rutgers just continued to push and push and push, and eventually they got the job done. Just a really solid get back down in Florida. Now, Florida recruits, as we all know, especially this cycle, you have to be a little bit weary of him because you don't know how long he'll be committed. NIL is always a major factor here now. We thought he was going to commit yesterday, and he was close to doing so, and it sounded like a school got in his ear and then pushed him back a little bit. And then he decided to talk to Rutgers again and sealed the deal. So we'll wait and see until they get to the finish line with this one. But for now, it's a pretty solid commit. It's a pretty solid cornerback, top 77 cornerback in the country per the Rivals rankings. So, yeah, I'm a big fan. And anytime you get these Florida athletes, especially at the skill positions, it's a huge get.
And Alec, in watching his tape, what's some things that stuck out to you and of him as a player?
Definitely, like Richie said, the playmaking. I think the basketball background really kind of shows out, especially in some of those like jump ball situations where he just has to go up and get it or just make a play on the ball. Also, I've noticed his wingspan. He has really long arms as well. His size, his frame, really helps as well. It really helps him wrap up, whether it's tackling or just wrapping around a wide receiver to break up a pass. So definitely some really good ball skills. He's pretty solid in press coverage too. Now, I don't know how much that'll continue alongside the physicality. I don't know how much that can continue in college when, obviously you can get dinged for some penalties and you're going up against better athletes. But I like what I see physicality wise. I also like, as you see in some of the highlights, he is even when he's in space and kind of away from a play, he can still be a big time hitter, come into a play from nowhere and make something happen. So just a guy who likes to be around the play and can, like I said, can kind of make things happen even if he's not, totally involved. Like you see there, just kind of wraps around the receiver and makes a play on the ball. Just the frame, really solid athlete. I feel like we've said this so many times with this recruiting class in particular. They're going after a lot of athletes on defense. Definitely like what I've seen from him. And you mentioned that first visit weekend. He is, let's see, I wrote this down somewhere. He is the 11th recruit from that initial visit weekend to commit to the program at some point. And then 9 of them currently remain. I believe Tara Simpson and Rael Kelly. I think Rael Kelly visited that first weekend. I think
it was June 6th. Don't quote me on that one though.
There's another one from that. Adam Shaw was the other one that ultimately landed elsewhere. But 9 of the visitors from that weekend are currently committed to the Scarlet Knights. So obviously really well done on that weekend. But yeah, I definitely like what I see here. especially the talent in Florida it's a little bit outside of the Tampa area. I also like what I've seen from his high school. It's a bit of a smaller sample size, but Sumner High School, this is the third time in the last 4 cycles they've sent a defensive back to the Power Four. Obviously, Conyers is going to Rutgers. In 2024, Gregory Smith went to Florida as a 4-star out of Sumner as a safety. He's at North Carolina now after a year at Florida. And then in 2023, another safety, Kylan Webb, went to Clemson. He's still there. So seems like Sumner's starting to build a pretty nice defensive back, recruiting. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Pipeline, I guess, in the last few years. Yeah, in the Power Four.
Yeah, definitely love to get into another top talented high school in the state of Florida. This kid just is a physical corner. He plays the ball well, like you guys have said. He's long. He's got good size. He's got good athleticism. Just fits the criteria that Craig Schiano seems to look for in DBs. And you can see he's making a ton of really tough tackles in the run game as well. He's, stuffing guys at the line of scrimmage. You love to see that. You can't really teach that. The want to stick your face in the fan as a defensive player. Like, you either kind of have it or you don't. It seems like he does. So he's a guy that I'm happy that they landed. Don't know a ton about him other than what I've seen on film, but yeah, nice ad for the Scarlet Knights. I know we recently talked about Rutgers not really looking to add any other players until the fall. Was this a kid that kind of decided late to commit to the Scarlet Knights, or was this a kid that they were trying to keep under the radar at all? Like, how did that change?
So this is an interesting scenario because, like I said, because I said it before, like Devontae Anderson was the one I was hinting at. Like, they were going to take him on Saturday, was it? I think Friday, I forget, one of those 2 days, and it sounded like they wanted him for a long time, and he was going to commit to Rutgers and flip to Rutgers, and then didn't end up flipping, stayed with Louisville. So now they're still going to pursue him, and it sounds like he might be a potential flip down the line. But Conyers was one that was supposed to decide in August, and he was going to wait, and now he wasn't going to wait. And then actually, I think originally it was July 15th, and then he pushed it off, and he was going to decide in August. And then Rutgers decided to push a little more and then got him committed. So, good job by the staff to lock him in, because it is a tall, lengthy corner. But at the end of the day, again, Florida recruit, so you just got to be careful because it is far away. And these Florida kids, like I just said with Devontae Anderson, he was all in on Rutgers for an hour. And then it changed. So it is tough. Now, they're not all the same when it comes to like that with recruiting, but we'll see what happens with Conyers. I think you got to be weary of like a UNC if they were in his Final Four. UNC is always a pain, especially with Bill Belichick there, and some significant NIL over there too. So hard to say how this is going to end, but for now, he's a Rutgers commit.
I see. Yeah, you love to hear that. Anything else regarding Conyers or the rest of the recruiting class that we wanted to hit on before we head out?
It's kind of quiet. Not really a whole lot going on. They're going to monitor some more kids in the fall. We put up a list of those on the night report recently. I think it was last week's War Room. We'll probably continue to monitor those guys as well. There's a couple Jersey kids that are committed elsewhere. There's a kid that actually just transferred to Piscataway that shout out to Chris Nowalski, our former writer, for posting that in our chat. Forget his name, but he's committed to Iowa State, went from St. Thomas Aquinas, aka formerly Bishop R, and is now at Piscataway. So Rutgers can really just go down the street if they need another DB, to be honest with you. So
that would be one Josiah Zayas. His name is.
There you
go. He's a really solid player on both sides of the ball. He's actually kind of sort of getting recruited for both sides of the ball at Iowa State. It's I guess obviously he's gonna have to
tell everybody.
Yeah,
I'm so over the Travis Hunter nonsense. Like one guy did it, now everyone thinks they could do it.
Yeah, he was in fact not to promote something else here, but for Central Jersey Sports Radio, which I do a lot of work for as well for high school sports, he won the two-way Player of the Year last year for St. Thomas Aquinas in our for the Central Jersey Sports Radio. So pretty solid.
I'll allow it.
Interesting. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening once again. This will be the last pod of the day. I know you got 2 in your feet already, depending on when you listen to this, but
sign up. $1 night report now.
Get in on the $1 is that for a year or is that for the first month?
$1 for the first week. Then you get charged for the year, but then you also get a year subscription of The Athletic. So
it's basically like 2 for 1.
There you go.
Essentially, I think.
Save your money, and you probably already subscribe to Athletic, like everyone else here, probably. I got to figure out how I can get the free Athletic.
Yeah, there's got to be a way you can link it. But yeah, if you need any help with that, feel free to just blast Richie with another message.
Another IT email.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks once again for listening. Football is right around the corner, and we're all very excited for training camp to start, which will be in less than 2 weeks.
Next week, I think. Right?
Next week? Jeez.
Yeah. Woo, we're here, baby. We made it.
Right around the corner. I don't know how. We have skid across the finish line. So thanks for listening. Thanks for referring the pod to a friend, rating, reviewing, subscribing, all that good stuff. If you haven't already, I don't know what you're waiting for. It's the smallest thing you can do to help the show is submit a 5-star review to your favorite podcasting platform. Subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on your preferred podcasting app. But we really appreciate each and every one of you who already done that. But for me, Richie and Alec, this has been another edition of the Night Report podcast. Signing off.